Hi everyone, Mr. H here. So good to see you again. Hope you all had a really good winter break. I hope it was restful and a lot of fun. But we're back at school now, so we're going to be doing a new music lesson here. And today we're going to be talking about something called musical form. Now this sounds really kind of like, whoa, musical form, it's way out there. But really it's just a fancy way of talking about how your music is put together. When people write music, yeah, they write the notes and they write the words to the songs, but they have to organize them. Otherwise, it's just kind of on the paper and it sounds kind of weird. So we're going to talk about musical form today. So we're going to do a little bit more talking and listening than playing right now. But first, what is musical form? Well, musical form, like I said, is how you organize the parts of a piece of music or a song. When you write music, you use different forms to help guide you in writing a song. Forms break the music down into sections using letters in the alphabet to say which section is playing. Different patterns of sections make different forms, and we'll learn about those as we go along. This way, you know what music you are listening to and how to listen to it. So sometimes you listen to a song and it might have an A section, a B section, then an A section again. That's what a lot of music you listen to today sounds like, but sometimes it goes A, B, A, C, A, D, A. So you have an A part, then it changes to a B part, then it goes back to an A part, then a C part, then it goes back to the A part, over and over again. You might not even know that these are happening because you're just listening to music. But when the music sounds in different sections, like different forms, that's those different sections there. So here's some words that you need to know. When we're talking about forms, we got to know these words. The first one is called introduction. Can you all say introduction? Now, you've probably heard this before when you were talking about like writing a 5-paragraph essay. You know your introduction? That first part where you have to write it down, which tells the reader, hey, this is what I'm going to talk about today. Well, even in music, we have an introduction too. It's the start of the music, and it gives the audience a sample of the music they will hear. So it's like a little bit of a teaser. It's like, hey, you keep on listening to the song, this is what it's going to sound like. Then they get into the actual sections, which we have section A, section B, section C, over and over again until it's done. Each section is a chunk of music that sounds different from each other. These sections can repeat themselves and change order. So like I said before, we have section A, which might sound a certain way, have a certain melody and certain instruments. Then you get to section B, which sounds different, has a different melody, maybe it gets louder, maybe it gets softer, maybe it sounds more angry, maybe it sounds more happy, but that's section B. Then maybe it goes back and it does the section A part again, it repeats itself. Then it goes to section C, which sounds different than the other two. Then sometimes, only sometimes, there's an interlude, which is a part in the middle of the piece that's like a break. It's not really a section, it's just a, the music's still playing, but we're not having a lot going on. It's just a, okay, we'll relax for a second, and then we go back into the sections. And then coda is a fancy ending to the piece. Some of you may have heard the word coda before, but it's pretty much the end of a piece. All the other sections are done, so it's a big way to finish the piece and make it sound like it's done. Now, I know that's a lot of words, and we're dealing with music here. We don't want to talk about it, we want to listen to things. But we also might need to see it. So I figured what better way to explain how forms work than with food, specifically the sandwich. I know what you're thinking. Oop. Get ready. I'm gonna scroll this back a little. Now I know what you're thinking. How can we use a sandwich to explain form? Well, think about it. A sandwich has a bottom piece of bread, which you can think of like an introduction. Then you add something to it. Maybe your favorite kind of meat, or maybe a cheese, or let's just say, you know what, we'll make it easy. Peanut butter and jelly. So the bread is like the introduction. Then you put on peanut butter. Then that will be maybe section 1. Then maybe you put on jelly, which is section 2, and then you top it with another piece of bread, which would be the coda. Each part on its own is different, but when you take them and you squish them all together, it makes one really yummy sandwich. So if we watch this video, they're going to use a piece of music called the finale to the William Tell Overture that sounds, that actually works like a sandwich. In fact, they show you each part with a sandwich. And if you watch on the side, they'll explain each part. So let's sit and listen together really quick. top of this musical deli. Look at those happy sandwiches. Now, you might have heard this verse before, but let's see. We're not going to worry about part 2 right now. Here we go. Let's see. The A section, the first part. Here's an interlude with the tomato. Now we're back to an A section, so same piece of bread again. This is the same thing as the A section we heard before. A, now to the C section. And here's the D section. It's not an interlude because it's a lot longer, but it also changed, different. The happy bunch of lettuce. Heard this before. Look at the C section again. Interlude tomato. And now we're back to part A again. So it's a piece of bread. So here's the donut. There you go. That is all of the William Tell Overture. Now, first off, before we go anywhere else, has anyone ever heard this song before? I know I'm on the other side of a screen, but raise your hand if you've heard the song before. Yeah, it's been used a lot in movies and TV shows and cartoons and stuff, usually when people are running around really fast to get something done. But going back to form, did you see what I meant when I was talking about the sandwich? Each section was a different part of the sandwich. The A section was the bread, the B section was the bologna, the C section was the cheese, the D section was some lettuce, we had some tomatoes, which were the interlude. So I think we had A, B, interlude, A, C, D, A, something like that. So it would have been a really tall sandwich when you stacked all together, but it also shows you that when you take all the parts and you squish them all together, it makes one really cool song. Now we're going to be talking about some other forms as we go on, and eventually we'll be talking about some music, you guys, some more modern music, but we still have forms. So let's keep this all in your mind. Maybe start thinking about when you listen to some music on your own, which parts would be an A section, which parts would be a B section, and keep on thinking like that. Well, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you guys had fun. So have yourselves a good rest of your week, and I'll see you next time.